Mexicans want Americans to self-deport themselves out of Mexico. Yes, you heard me right. The Mexicans are saying, hey, Americans, it's time to go home. Deport yourself out of our country. Protesters took to the streets in Mexico City saying, no more gringos, stop stealing our land, demanding that local leaders regulate tourism and have stricter housing laws, saying that Americans cannot come in and buy up all the property there. Protesters soon became violent as they started smashing storefronts, looting stores, and harassing and screaming at tourists that are simply walking on the streets, telling them to go home. During 2020, a lot of Americans moved to Mexico because they could live cheaply there and they could continue to work in their American-based companies, so they were living large. Rent in the past 5 years has increased by 47%, and the people in Mexico are done with it. They're saying, we have had a mass invasion of Americans. They're taking over our land. They're bringing their culture here, and we're done. So Americans need to deport themselves out of Mexico. Sounds kind of familiar, right? We had a mass invasion here. Now we're trying to send people out of our country. Mexico's doing the same thing, saying, Americans, it's time for you to go home. We want our land back. Let me know your thoughts on this one.
All right, you guys, the hypocrisy is real, okay? This is what I'm talking about. So here in America, we've been having immigration ICE riots for about a month and a half. If you take a look over the border to our brothers and sisters in Mexico, they are also having an immigration problem, and they are kicking out the gringos because the gringos are raising the cost of living for everyone. And I find that ironic. So here in America, immigrants come and undercut the Americans, so we don't get the jobs. But in Mexico, the Americans go over there and they make too much money and they make life difficult for the Mexican population because they can't afford the apartments. They can't afford the nice dining areas. So I'm saying all of that to say this. I need people from the Mexican community to help me understand the hypocrisy. How is it fair to kick out the gringos from Mexico, but when we do it over here, you guys are not happy with that, for lack of better words? So can someone please help me understand the hypocrisy with all of this? Not only that, if you guys are even semi up to date with immigration policies in Mexico and throughout Central America, they're worse than we are. They've been kicking people out left and right, and they've been doing it for longer than we are. So why is it that America is so ridiculed for wanting our country back? The last 4 years under the Biden administration has been insane. There's an estimated 20 million immigrants here, undocumented. We don't know who they are. We don't know what they were running from. Murder, rape, anything. We don't know what these people are running from. So I'm going to end that by saying this. Borders are not to block people. A border is to block the ideology that you may bring with you. This is America. Let's keep it that way.
In the heart of Mexico City, anger is rising, not against the government, not against crime, but against Americans. Thousands of Americans are crossing the border, not for vacation, but to live, and the impact is leaving many Mexicans priced out, pushed out, and unheard. Since 2020, the number of Americans moving to Mexico has surged, drawn by low cost of living, remote work freedom, and cultural appeal. They are arriving in waves, sometimes without learning a word of Spanish. Rents go out, cafes start charging in dollars, and locals start living. What began as an opportunity for some became crisis for others, as housing becomes currency in a global game. It is the locals, not the experts, who pay the price. And then there is culture. Whole neighborhoods now cater to Americans with menus in English, yoga studios, and $6 coffees. Spanish is disappearing from the streets, so is respect. This is
Karma. Karma is a bitch, ain't it? Y'all hear what's going on in Mexico right now? It don't get no better. So while liberals in America are saying, Viva la Mexico, Viva la Mexico, and waving the Mexican flags, protesting with illegal immigrants to keep them here. You know what's going on in Mexico right now? The Mexicans are protesting, holding up their signs saying, hey, gringo, get the fuck out of here, SA. Get the fuck out of Mexico, puto. The Mexicans are kicking white liberals out of Mexico, while the ones here are protesting to keep Mexicans here. What the fuck? So the reason for this is liberal Americans fuck America up, fuck their beautiful California up and their fucked up blue cities, and then they dip out, sell their shit, move to Mexico, right, to live cheaper. Yet they get all the high paying jobs in Mexico, according to the Mexicans. So they move in, everything goes up because of the high traffic of foreign people, and then they go there with their fucking United States American entitlement for the liberals. They go to Rome and do what liberal Americans do. Because they don't know, when you're in Rome, you do as the fucking Romans do. So they go to Mexico with their entitlement, right? And then they work from home, work on their computer, and then they live this lavish lifestyle. Because when you go there with your United States dollar, you can buy a fucking mansion for pennies on the dollar. So now because of that, everything, all the prices are going up, cost of living is going up. They're over there fucking up Mexico, and the Mexicans have had enough. So they're over here trying to say, Viva la Mexico, Viva la Mexico. And then Mexicans are over there saying, get the fuck out of here, puto. Go back to America. Go fight in America. We don't want you here. Hell yeah. The only thing they need to realize is here, they'll just talk. But in Mexico, the Mexicans will actually make them disappear. So they're going to fuck around and find out. So let's get ready for them fucking liberals to march back here in droves, because the Mexicans are kicking their asses out of Mexico. And that's just news for you.
Not with weapons, but with wallets. But the truth isn't black and white. Many Americans moving to Mexico aren't wealthy. They are fleeing their own housing crisis, victims of unaffordable rent in Los Angeles, San Francisco, New York, and some do try to respect and uplift the communities they join, but good intentions don't erase impact. What happens when one nation's escape becomes another's eviction? When digital freedom fuels physical displacement, Mexico is not just a backdrop for better lives. It is a home, a culture, a people, and they are speaking up. Gentrification isn't just happening in Brooklyn or Berlin. It is happening in Oaxaca, in Tulum, and Mexico City. The question is, when the borders open for opportunity, who gets left behind? Thank you all for coming to watch this video. If you have made it this far, hit that like button and subscribe.